Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise and get straight to the fascinating core of a topic.
That's right.
And today, we're plunging into an exciting, maybe often misunderstood world, the unique experience of New Mexico elk hunting.
A really specific kind of hunt, too.
Exactly. Our insights, they're drawn straight from excerpts of a podcast called New Mexico Elk Hunts with Global Hunting Solutions. The host is Travis Wier, a guide with, get this, over 3 decades of experience.
Wow, yeah, 30 years. He'd know his stuff.
Definitely. So our mission for this deep dive is to unpack what really makes this type of free-range elk hunt stand out. You know, from the thrilling, sort of visceral experience of the rut to the specific gear you need and how it all connects to bigger ideas, land management, conservation, that kind of thing.
It's more than just the hunt itself, then.
Absolutely. Get ready, because we're going to uncover the deep allure of chasing trophy bull elk on, well, a massive 50,000 acres of private ranch land. We'll highlight some surprising facts, unique aspects, stuff that really elevates this beyond, a typical hunt.
Sounds good. Where should we start?
Okay, let's start with the sheer scale. We're talking 50,000 acres here in New Mexico.
Yeah.
That's not just a big property, is it? It sounds more like an entire ecosystem.
It practically is. And what's truly compelling about that kind of scale is how 50,000 acres of private ranch land fundamentally redefines the whole hunting dynamic. It's just different.
How so? Different dynamic.
Well, we're not just discussing a typical hunting trip. The sources, they describe these as completely free-range hunts, but they're also fully guided, all-inclusive.
All-inclusive, so lodging, meals.
Everything. Lodging, meals, even the professional trophy prep right there on site. But the real insight, I think, is how this scale enables a level of wildlife management that's, well, it's almost impossible on public lands.
Okay, wildlife management, you mentioned that. Beyond the obvious, like not dealing with crowds, how does this private land advantage translate into a tangibly different experience? For the hunter, I mean, or even for the elk themselves.
Yeah, that's where it gets really interesting. This exclusive access, it's paramount because it means the bulls act naturally.
Naturally.
Yeah, they're rutting hard, moving across the landscape, following their instincts, undisturbed by constant human pressure. They aren't constantly bumping into other hunters or being pushed around,
Right. So a more authentic interaction.
Exactly. This undisturbed environment, it isn't just about hunter comfort. It fosters a more authentic and often, frankly, more predictable interaction with the wildlife. But beyond that, the real insight is the ability to implement these highly specific, tailored management strategies.
Things you just can't do on public land.
Pretty much impossible.
Yeah.
This allows for real precision in managing herd health, genetic quality, which, directly translates to those trophy bulls you've dreamed about year after year.
So it's like a carefully cultivated wild population almost.
Kind of, yeah. And it becomes this economic engine that actively prevents habitat fragmentation. It funds wildlife initiatives that actually benefit all the species on the ranch. It's a surprising model for ecological stewardship, really.
So it's way more than just a big fence. It's an active, long-term approach, creating a premium environment. And the guides, they must be absolutely critical in this equation, right? Knowing such a vast, managed landscape.
Oh, absolutely pivotal. The sources really highlight guides who know this specific land inside and out. Every canyon, every water source, every little bedding area.
Decades of experience on that specific piece of ground.
Exactly. And this intimate knowledge, it ensures clients are always, or as close as possible, in the right place at the right time, minimizes wasted effort, maximizes the quality of the encounter.
That makes sense.
That deep understanding of the terrain and, crucially, the elk behavior on that specific acreage is a massive differentiator. It allows for a much more targeted, more efficient hunt than you typically find.
So for you, the listener, what this controlled and expertly managed environment offers is a very particular experience. Consistent, high quality, quite different from most public land options. It's really crucial if you're seeking a thorough, focused pursuit without, the added variables of competing with lots of other hunters. Lets you immerse yourself deep in the hunt itself.
Definitely.
Okay, now let's shift focus a bit to the heart of the experience for so many hunters. The magic of the rut. The sources paint such a vivid picture here.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine it. Early September, the morning air is crisp. The mountains are just alive with sound. What does that first bugle actually signify in this kind of environment?
It's described as a truly profound sensory experience. That first bugle cutting through the dawn, it isn't just a sound, it's ancient primal. It's said to raise the hair on your neck, For the elk, it's the announcement of dominance, right? The challenge that kicks off the breeding season. For the hunter, though, it's the definitive signal. The most intense, active period of the hunt has just begun. It's this surge of adrenaline, marking that shift from quiet waiting to active pursuit.
I can almost feel that anticipation just hearing you describe it. And then it amplifies, right? Multiple bulls answering back, echoing across canyons,
Yeah.
creating this sense of, what did the source say? Chaos, primal, electrifying.
Exactly. It's not just one sound. It becomes this full symphony of raw nature. The entire landscape just comes alive.
You can picture it.
Totally. You visualize bulls crashing through the timber, asserting their dominance while the cows are herding together. The air literally vibrates with their calls. It's intense. And this whole crescendo of sound and movement, it culminates in that heart-pounding moment. When a hunter is at full draw with a bow or lining up their crosshairs,
Yeah.
that's the raw, thrilling essence of elk hunting, where all the prep, all the waiting, it just converges in this single, intense interaction with a magnificent animal.
And that must be amplified by the private land setting.
Hugely amplified. Because these interactions unfold without that external interference, it allows the elk to display their full, natural rutting behavior. It's unfiltered.
So if we zoom out a bit, the rut isn't just about mating season. It's really a defining spectacle that makes this style of hunting incredibly immersive.
Absolutely. It's the peak time. Peak elk activity, peak hunter engagement. It offers this truly unique window into the wild. It's where nature's drama unfolds most intensely.
Right. So with all that intensity and opportunity, what does this actually mean for how you participate in these hunts? Our sources detail specific methods, each offering a distinct challenge, a different experience.
That's a great question. They talk about 3 primary methods of take, letting hunters choose what best fits their preference, maybe their skill set, the desired level of intimacy with the hunt.
Intimacy, yeah.
Each method taps into a different aspect of the elk's behavior and, of course, the hunter's skill.
Okay, let's start with archery. The description mentions the adrenaline of drawing your bow at like 20, 30 yards, with a rutting bull screaming right in front of you.
Yeah.
That sounds incredibly intense, intimate, like you said, demands immense skill, I imagine. What makes it so unique in this New Mexico setting?
It absolutely is intense. Archery in New Mexico during the rut is just, it's unparalleled. The sources really highlight that intimacy of those close encounters. Success often hinges on your ability to stay calm, stay precise, while this massive animal is actively bugling maybe just yards away.
Wow. Nerves of steel needed.
Definitely. It requires exceptional stealth, calling skills. To lure a bull into such tight range, often in dense timber or across broken terrain. That full draw moment you mentioned, it means you've successfully navigated the animal's incredible senses to get into position for an ethical shot. It's a true test of patience and mastery.
Okay, then we move to muzzleloader hunts, typically October, right? Here, the bulls are still vocal, but the sources say they're notably warier. Sounds like a different kind of challenge altogether.
It is, yeah. October muzzleloader hunts, they introduce this blend of tradition and modern precision. The bulls, they've been through the early rut, so they are a bit more cautious, makes it harder to call them in really close.
Right.
So the sources mention combining black powder with modern accuracy, making these guns deadly out to 200 yards, even more sometimes.
200 yards with a muzzleloader.
Yeah, modern ones are incredibly capable. This requires a different kind of focus, though. Mastering ballistics for those slower, heavier projectiles, ensuring pinpoint accuracy at those extended ranges. It's about leveraging advanced muzzleloader tech to adapt to a warier animal. Adds a layer of strategic thinking, for sure.
Okay. And finally, for those who prefer it, rifle hunts, often late season. What does success look like for these, and how do they differ from the earlier methods?
Right. Rifle hunts, especially late season, shift the focus again. Even further towards patience and long-range precision. By this time, the rut's pretty much over. Bulls are often scattered, less vocal, makes them much harder to locate.
So more blasting.
Exactly. Success hinges on extensive glassing, spending hours, sometimes days, behind high-quality optics, spotting elk from a distance. And then executing precision long-range shooting to secure those bulls you've dreamed about.
Less calling them in, more going to them.
Pretty much. It's about strategic positioning, reading the wind, which can be tricky in the mountains, and the ability to make a clean, ethical shot at significant distances across varied terrain.
It's really clear that these varied methods allow you, the listener, to tailor the experience. Match your skill level, the challenge you want, even the time of year you prefer, whether it's that close quarters adrenaline with a bow, the strategic blend of old and new with a muzzleloader, or the ultimate test of long-range precision with a rifle. There's an option.
There really is.
Okay, now let's dig into another critical piece, gear. Because when you're taking on these incredible animals, having the right equipment is absolutely critical, isn't it? The sources go into quite a bit of detail here.
Oh, absolutely critical, yeah. And the gear recommendations aren't just like suggestions, they're integral to both success and, importantly, ethical hunting.
Right.
For rifle hunters, specific calibers get highlighted repeatedly. The .300 Win Mag, 7mm Rem Mag, the .28 Nosler.
Why those specifically?
Well, they aren't just powerful, they're favored because they deliver consistent energy at the extended ranges you often encounter in that wide open, kind of undulating New Mexico terrain. Gives hunters confidence in taking a bull ethically from various distances, often in unpredictable mountain winds, flat shooting, good knockdown power.
Makes sense. And it's not just the caliber, but the bullet itself that matters, right? The sources stress using bonded or monolithic designs for optimal penetration. Why are those specific designs so critical for an animal like an elk?
That's a really crucial distinction, yeah. These aren't your standard lead core bullets. Bonded bullets, their core is chemically fused to the jacket, so they don't separate easily on impact.
Okay.
Monolithic bullets are usually solid copper or a copper alloy, designed to expand but not fragment. The point is, they're engineered to hold together when they hit. That ensures maximum energy transfer and deep penetration through bone-heavy muscle, which is vital for a quick, humane take on a large, tough animal like an elk.
So reliable performance is key.
Every single time. You need that bullet to perform exactly as expected.
Got it. And scopes, what's the priority there?
Top quality glass, period. Especially for low light conditions. Big bulls, as the sources point out, they tend to move most actively at first and last light, those golden hours.
Right.
You absolutely need optics that can gather enough light to give you a clear, bright image when visibility is at its toughest. Allows for precise shot placement in those critical moments. You just can't shoot what you can't see clearly.
True. Now, for muzzleloaders, the recommendation was modern inline rifles paired with high BC bullets. Accuracy and knockdown power out to 250 yards plus. What exactly is a high BC bullet? Why is that important here?
Right. High BC refers to a high ballistic coefficient. In simpler terms, it just means the bullet is more aerodynamic, cuts through the air with less drag.
Okay, less wind drift, holds energy better.
Exactly. It's absolutely essential for maintaining accuracy and energy for those longer 250-plus yard shots you might need on wary October bulls, especially in open, windy New Mexico landscapes. It just ensures the bullet flies truer and delivers more punch-down range compared to, less aerodynamic designs.
Makes sense. And for the archers, what's their essential gear look like?
Archery gear, it needs its own specific considerations. Durable arrows are a must. They have to withstand the rigors of travel, the force of the bow. Fixed blade broadheads are generally recommended for maximum effectiveness, reliable penetration, especially on an animal with the bone structure and thick hide of an elk. And critically, draw weights strong enough to effectively anchor a bull elk. These are powerful animals. Your gear has to match that strength to ensure a clean, ethical harvest. No shortcuts there.
Our sources even shared a compelling anecdote, didn't they? A story about a hunter lining up on a Buseling 340 class bull.
Yeah, I remember that.
Really illustrates the critical importance of steady optics. A bullet performing flawlessly, all in that super high pressure moment. It's a vivid reminder, isn't it?
Yeah.
All the prep, all the specific gear choices, it boils down to that single crucial instant.
It really does. And it drives home that important point about the role of technology and just thorough preparation in ethical hunting. It's all geared toward ensuring a clean, effective take. That's paramount. The right gear isn't just about success in the hunt, it's about responsibility towards the animal, minimizing suffering. Every single component works together for that one moment of truth.
Absolutely. So beyond the adrenaline, beyond the gear, it's clear these hunts are about more than just the pursuit itself, right?
Yeah.
What else goes into the full experience for the hunter?
Well, what's fascinating is how comprehensively the whole experience seems to be designed. The lodge, for instance, is described as comfortable, ranch style, equipped with everything hunters need after long, pretty demanding days out in the field.
So a focus on comfort and recovery, too.
Definitely. It emphasizes that as much as the hunt itself. Allows you to fully recharge each day.
And the meals sound like a serious perk after a day chasing elk. Hearty breakfasts, packed lunches for the field, dinners designed to fuel you up.
Absolutely. The culinary side seems like part of the restoration process. Plus, a big one is the professional trophy care. It's all inclusive.
Ah, so they handle the caping.
All the caping, that careful removal of the hide, head, neck, for taxidermy and the professional field prep, it's all handled. Ensures the bull is managed professionally right from the field all the way to the taxidermist. Takes a huge logistical burden off the hunter.
That's significant.
Yeah, you're not just chasing a trophy, you're ensuring it's respectfully preserved right from the start.
So it really paints a picture of a holistic experience. Hunt hard by day, relax comfortably by night, share stories under those huge New Mexico stars. Sounds like an all-encompassing adventure, not just a series of hunting trips.
Exactly. And, if we connect this back to the bigger picture, these elements really highlight how modern, well-managed hunting isn't just a recreational activity. It can be a critical tool for conservation and sustaining wild places.
How so?
Well, the sources explicitly state that hunting these bulls sustains these private land ranches, and it directly supports habitat conservation on those lands. What's truly compelling is how the, frankly, high economic value of these trophy elk hunts creates this powerful direct incentive for the landowners to preserve and even enhance these vast ecosystems.
Ah, so it's a direct feedback loop. It's not just a feel-good add-on. It's an actual economic engine preventing habitat fragmentation, funding wildlife initiatives, benefiting all the species on the ranch.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It's a powerful feedback loop. The investment hunters make directly fund stuff like habitat restoration, water source development, scientific herd monitoring, anti-poaching efforts across these huge private lands. It essentially creates these self-sustaining wildlife preserves that benefit the entire ecosystem, not just the elk.
So these hunters aren't just participants, they're direct contributors to conservation.
In a very real way, yes. It means these hunters contribute to keeping elk herds strong, balanced, thriving. The whole operation, as described, reinforces ethical hunting and respect for the animal as integral parts of the adventure. It forges this legacy of stewardship.
So this deep dive has really shown that hunting elk on 50,000 acres of private land in New Mexico, at least as described in our sources, it truly sounds like a hunt like no other. An adventure that leaves a lasting impression.
Seems that way.
We've gone from that primal thunder of bugling bulls in early September to the strategic patience needed for late-season rifle hunts. We've understood the unique private land advantage, the critical gear requirements, the comprehensive support package, and how it's all woven into this larger story of ecological stewardship.
Yeah, it's quite a package.
It really is.
And as you, the listener, consider all of this, maybe think about how the pursuit of adventures like these isn't just about the personal thrill, the chase, but also about the direct, tangible contribution hunters can make to wildlife conservation, the preservation of natural habitats, forging a legacy that extends far beyond just a single trophy. What does that profound balance between adventure and stewardship mean for you? How might it reshape your understanding of conservation and action? Something to think about.